Welcome to Downhill Backyard Gardening. Now I have a question for you. When your tomato starts get leggy like this, is it a bad thing or is it actually a good thing? I'm going to give you my opinion on this topic and what we can do to utilize a leggy tomato start right now in this video. So let's grow. The term leggy means very simply that the tomato plant is just really long. There's got a lot of leg to the stalk of the tomato plant. So the way that this happens and the reason that this happens is the plant as it's growing is reaching toward that sunlight or that grow light, which is what these plants all did. And it's actually not a bad thing at all because you've got all of this stalk that you can bury in a cup and start preparing these for the spring. And let me show you what I mean. So tomato plants are not like other plants. Pepper plants have a very smooth stalk to their plant, just like you're seeing here. A tomato plant has a very hairy stalk, and every one of those hairs has the potential to become a root. So what we're going to do to utilize the legginess of this tomato plant is we are going to bury the entire stalk in a good garden soil and let it start growing a stronger root system that will do nothing but benefit this plant and all tomato plants once you get them planted in the garden as soon as your last expected frost date hits. So I have about 5 weeks left to grow these tomato plants' root systems even stronger, and I'm going to do that by uppotting them and get them in a cup, get them back under the grow lights on a heat mat, and let them continue growing strong and growing a stronger root system. So when March 1st hits and I can plant them in the garden, they are ready to rock and roll. So is having a leggy plant a good thing or a bad thing for your tomato starts? Well, the way I look at it in this instance is it's a great thing because it gives more room and more surface area for those roots to potentially grow, which will do nothing but strengthen your plant here down the road. One way to know when your plants are ready to uppot, especially your tomato starts, is when they start to fall over like that. At least for me, this is kind of what I look for when I'm ready to uppot these plants to a larger cup so they are more prepared for their final transplant, which will be into your garden. What I'm going to do for every one of these leggy tomato plants is I'm going to uppot every single one of them into a larger cup, and all you need is a bigger container, a good garden soil. Whatever soil you deem good for your plants is the soil you need, but make sure it is a well-draining, nutrient-rich garden soil. That's what you want. We're going to poke some holes in the bottom of this cup so we have drain holes. We're going to fill this up. We're going to rock and roll. So here we go. All right, put some drain holes in here like that. Fill the soil about right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this process with just one plant here. You have to be real careful because even though they're pretty strong, because I've had the oscillating fan on them since the very beginning, you still need to be careful with them. Now once you take them out, look at that root system, y'all. That is really good. Now imagine if these plants have a root system that starts all the way up here and all of this is a root system. That is the goal, to get this entire plant with a root system like that. So I'm just going to sit the plant in like that, and then we are going to fill it up. We are just going to fill it up like that and make sure that there's plenty of soil around all of it. And we're going to leave room for this other one to go in right beside it. So this way I'll have 3 gold medal tomato plants ready to rock and roll here in March, which is perfect because I want 3 of each tomato plant that I've planted out there in the garden. So now we're going to fill these up all the way. And I don't like that it's against the sides like that, but it's all right. They'll still grow. We're going to take that, make sure we know what plant is what tomato plant is what. And then, y'all, that's it. All we need to do is water them in. Now these leggy tomato plants have a very, very good chance of becoming a very, very strong plant. That's it. We have now taken a leggy tomato plant and we are going to utilize that plant's long stalk to do nothing but benefit the plant as a whole down the road here in about 5 weeks when we get these plants out there in the garden. One thing about up-potting your plants, whether you're doing a tomato plant, a pepper plant, whatever kind of plant, is you can up-pot all the way up to the very top of the plant. These first leaves that you see on the plant aren't true leaves. They are the leaves that are left over from the seed. So you can get rid of those. In fact, you can cut those off and bury all the way up to the very top of the true leaves, which you can totally tell the difference in true leaves as opposed to these leaves right here. That is one trick you can do specifically for a tomato plant, because tomato plants have hairs all the way up the stalks. So you can actually plant your tomato starts further in the soil, providing more of an opportunity for more roots to grow on those tomato plants. So what I advise you to do is take every one of your tomato starts, do this process right here, get them back inside on your heat mats under your grow lights, and get them prepared for your area's last expected frost date. So everyone, that's the video, and that is exactly what you need to do to utilize your leggy tomato starts to make them the strongest possible plant and the most productive plant that you can have when you're ready to get them in the garden in spring, ready to rock and roll and have your tomato game go to the next highest possible level that you can. If y'all learned anything from this video, if you gained any knowledge, if you enjoyed the video at all, do me a favor, like it, share it, and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. I would love to have all of you join all of us on this journey of gardening together. Depending on where you are in the world and what your zone is, right now might be the time to start preparing your tomatoes for that next and final transplant, which is in the garden. Everyone take care, God bless, and I'll talk to y'all again really soon.